The construction of our research lab is going well. It's big, it's bold, it is looking awesome, but we are not quite done yet. Every time I come flying in, I forget exactly how big this thing is, and it astonishes me again and again. So let's see, can we thread the needle? No, we can't thread the needle. Anyway, here we are on the inside, and as you can see, it is a massive, massive space. And we need to do something because right now behind me, we have a lot of empty space. There is absolutely nothing going on in here, and we need to do something about that. I'm thinking perhaps it's time to bring the forest into the facility. However, the first thing we need to do is work a bit on infrastructure because right now, as you can see, we've got these 4 massive labs up top here. Let's just take a fly around and you can see there's nothing happening inside, and there's a good reason for that. In order to use a lab, you need to be able to get into the lab, and right at this moment there is no way of getting into these labs because I haven't built the elevators yet. If we go and take a look inside, there's the space where the elevator needs to sit. There's a hole at the top and the bottom and nothing else, which means there is no way of getting into those labs right now. You can't even fly in because there's no gap from the outside. And we're going to need to build some elevators so that we can get into those labs and set up our instrumentation. Also, 4 labs is going to be a lot of work, and I was thinking perhaps I can get some of the other people on the server to come and help me set these up. But first things first, let's build some elevators. Now I want these elevators to have a nice, sleek, modern design, so I'm going to be using some glass and some sea lanterns. I'm not going to overdo it. I'm going to keep it as simple as I possibly can, and I think that is a good start. That'll be the entrance, and then we'll have 2 sea lanterns right up there. Next, all we need to do is take this black glass tube and extend it all the way to the top of the roof. This is of course going to be a simple bubble elevator. I'm not going to try and be too fancy. We don't have the space for a big clunky redstone elevator, so bubble elevator it is, and there we go, all the way to the top. And let me just move closer, and of course the one in the front as well, and that is it. We are done with the first elevator. All we need to do now is repeat this 7 more times for all of the others, and we will finally have access to the labs at the top. So here we go. We'll start at this one and just repeat the process once again. Up goes our glass, 1 in the middle, and then of course we need to add some sea lanterns, and I have completely messed this up because I think I should have put glass in the back there first, but there we go. And then in go our sea lanterns. So let's get all of these elevators built and then we'll move right along. So we've built all 8 of our elevators, and the next thing we need is to get some water in them. And for that we're going to need some buckets, and we're going to need some signs. And it looks like this might be a problem because I don't think I planned for this. I don't see any buckets in any of these, and I don't see any signs. But let's take this one thing at a time. First thing is some buckets to get ourselves some water. And yeah, I didn't have any buckets. I had to make myself 2. 2 is all I need really, because with 2 I can make an infinite water source. So let's pop outside, grab some water from the river over here, and then we'll hop right back in, make ourselves an infinite water source, and get water in those shafts. So here we go. We'll just dig out these 3 blocks. Place water in the corner over there and water in the corner over here, and there we go, infinite water. I wish it worked like that in real life, but unfortunately it doesn't. Now the next thing we need is some signs, and I have been looking through all of these shulker boxes. I have not seen a single sign, and that just tells me I did not prepare for that. So yeah, I think it's time for me to stop messing about. Just go out there, get some wood and make some signs, because I'm just wasting some time over here. Now if you're wondering why I'm still digging through chests, it's because I thought there was some wood in one of these chests. It turns out I was very, very wrong, and I'm not finding any, so this tree is going to have to make the sacrifice. It is a little bit out of place anyway, so I don't think we're going to lose much by chopping it down. And let's just get the wood at the very tippy top over there, and then I think maybe Yeah, let's take this one down as well, because the leaves aren't going to decay properly if I leave this one standing. There we go. Okay, we've got some wood, and thanks to our magnificent stone cutter mod, we can turn them directly into signs, and we actually get a lot more signs from this than we normally would. So we have our signs, we have our water, and it's time to get some water in these shafts. Now, I've got no way of getting up there at the moment, so I'm going to have to grab this one, place it further up, and just climb my way up like this. And once again, grab this block, place it further up, and I think we're almost at the top now. One more grab and place should get us there. So last time we grab it, we place it, and oh, I actually think that might be too high, and I'm making a mess of things down here. I'm flooding everywhere. I've got to put in the signs first. So there we go. No, let's just clean that. And I think maybe eventually we can have the labs or whatever on there, so you'll know which lab these elevators go to. But this will take us right to the top, and I've placed it one too high. I have flooded all the labs. Thank goodness they're empty. There we go. All set. Now the next one will be a lot easier. Of course, we simply pop it down there, and we're done. Now, I need to do this for all 6 of the other shafts as well, but first, yeah, same thing. I have flooded the lobby, so let's just get these signs in here, and actually, these need to go on the other side. I want you to be able to read them as soon as you walk in through the door, and yeah, that's going to flood, but it's all right. Pop that down. And there we go. The first set of elevators have water in them. Now, of course, they're not working yet, but we'll fix that soon enough. So yeah, I'm back home because I ran out of rockets and I had to walk all the way back. Other than that, I thought I might have a little bit of kelp somewhere in the chest over here, but it turns out I have 0 kelp anywhere. Now, finding kelp is quite easy. It grows in just about any ocean biome. I think frozen, deep frozen, and warm are the 3 that it does not grow in. And we have some ocean if we just head out in that way over KB's base. There's plenty of kelp growing there, I'm sure. There's a frozen ocean to the one side, but I think there's plenty enough of the other biomes right next to it. So let's head out there, see if we can find some kelp easily enough, and let's see. Yeah, we've got some kelp growing right over there. We can go grab some of that stuff, and we don't need too much. We don't need stacks and stacks of it. We just need enough to reach the top of each of those shafts, and we can reuse it, of course, so we don't need enough to do all 8 at once. I think I'm just gonna grab this one, this one, this one, and maybe 1 or 2 more, and that should be more than enough. Now let's grab all of this, get back to the water elevators, and then finally make all of them work. Now I see KB's been doing some redstone over here. He's been doing some automation, I assume, and I'm not sure if all of these are part of some bigger machine or different iterations of one machine. But yeah, it looks quite interesting. I'm not sure what it's supposed to do or how these fit together. But I'm not going to spoil too much. We've had a look at his redstone works, and we're going to leave it there. What we're interested in is our building over there, and it looks quite imposing in the background. Now, if you might be worried that I'm ruining KB's landscape and his scenic view, don't. I spoke to him before I started building it. I showed him some schematics and an idea of what it would look like in the background from his farm, and he was okay with it. So don't panic too much. KB was okay with me building it over here. Anyway, we are here and we want to make the water elevators work. We've got our kelp now, and I think we need to get started. And making these work is very easy. We just place some kelp down all the way to the top, and each time we place a kelp block, it turns one of these water blocks into a water source block. And now we just need to do the same thing on this side, but I just remembered you can't place kelp on a magma block, which means I need to replace that with dirt in order to get my kelp in there. And that's easy enough. I've got some dirt on me. Remove the magma block. Let's pop the dirt block right in there, and then we can put down our kelp and convert all of these water blocks into water source blocks. Now, I still have more, so I'm not short on kelp. And there we go. The first 2 elevators should be done. As soon as I break the stalk, it should give me bubbles, and that will be the up elevator. And then once I break these stalks, I just need to replace it with a magma block at the bottom, and that will be the down elevator. However, we still have 6 more to go, so let's get all of the kelp in there, and then we'll take it from there once we're done. So here we go, we are at the last elevator. I didn't have enough kelp to do the downside, so let's just break these, and this should give us an up elevator, and I've collected all of the kelp on my way up, which is beautiful. That works brilliantly. So now we only have to do the downside still, and for that I need to dig out the magma, replace it with dirt, put the kelp down, and then we can break it, replace the magma block at the bottom, and we should have a down elevator as well. Here we go. Let's just grab our magma block, we'll grab our shovel, and as soon as we break this, we can put our magma block in, and we have a down elevator. Yep, it's sucking me down. Why am I bouncing? It's not supposed to be bouncing. Why am I bouncing? That is very weird. Yeah, still bouncing. What the heck? Anyway, we've got the 2 elevators. They are working. We can go up the upside. And we finally have some speedy, reliable access to the labs, which means we are just about ready to get some people in here to come and utilize them. Now, while we've been working on the elevators, the forest has embraced the laboratory, and as you can see, we have some beautiful foliage, some moss growing over the sides, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Just a little something to help it fit in better with its surroundings, tie it to the forest, and aid us in the conservation work that we are trying to do here, and it is looking absolutely gorgeous. Now with that done, of course, we still have one big thing that we need to do today, and that is to take a look at the inside of this monstrous place. As you can see, the outside is now looking absolutely gorgeous, but we still have a very, very empty space inside. And yeah, that is really, really beautiful. Anyway, so the next thing we're going to do is going to take place inside of the building, and for that we have already gathered a ton of materials. I've been busy, I've shuffled around a few shulker boxes, I have prepared the floor, and right now it's time to head in and start building, because this space over here is going to be taken up by a massive tree, probably one of the biggest I have ever built, and it's going to be absolutely glorious. So I think I've kept you in suspense long enough. I can't wait to get started. So let's jump straight in and let's build ourselves the mother of all trees. Now we've done our best, but as you can see, the tree is still looking pretty dead and very, very sad, which is not exactly what we were after, considering that this is a lab meant to restore and revitalize the forest. And, well, we can't have something looking like this sitting in the middle of the lab. And I think we should do something about it. Now, fortunately, this is a laboratory dedicated to revitalizing the forest, and I think we have just the thing. We have some super fertilizer over here, and what we're going to do is just spread it around the base of the tree, and hopefully that will bring the old girl back to life and restore her to her glory as the mother of the forest. So I'm just going to go around, spread some of this magnificent fertilizer all around the base of the tree, and hopefully the nutrients that it gives will bring this big tree back to life. And now we just have to sit back and wait. It's been a few days and I am super excited to see if the fertilizer has done the trick. Hopefully when we walk in there, we won't be looking at a bunch of dead branches and sticks, but something much, much more grand. So here we go. And it worked. Just look at that. The old girl is in full bloom again, full of beautiful leaves. and it looks absolutely amazing. That fertilizer sure did a number on this place. I mean, just look at the ground around it. Everywhere we look, we've got some grass growing, some flowers, and that is pretty powerful stuff. And for the first thing to come out of the lab, I think that is absolutely brilliant. But the tree is sprung back to life and things are looking good. And I think we've done some excellent work here today. The building is looking fantastic. We have access to the labs, and now we need to reach out to some of the other members of the server to see if they would be interested in occupying a lab. And the tree is also looking magnificent, standing proudly in the middle of the lab. I think this is the biggest tree I have ever built. But that, ladies and gents, is unfortunately all we have time for today. I really do hope you enjoyed the episode. Leave a like if you did, and if you want to see some more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But this is Fungusaurus Rex saying, until next time, beautiful people, stay awesome. Bye-bye.